DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We're going to have a great show. We have Jensen and Doug McCorkle here from Sustainable Environmental Consultants, and we're going to talk about some of the great programs that they're doing to help producers, to help farmers, ranchers, and meet that consumer at the table. Stay tuned.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
If you're looking for advanced and innovative livestock handling products and facilities, Daniels Manufacturing Company is who you want to choose. They are a family-owned business that puts the needs of their customers first, and have so since they opened in 1958. With low-stress cattle handling being of the utmost importance, they are focused on quality, not quantity. The company prides themselves on prioritizing the animal's well-being by staying on the cutting edge of design and only using the best materials and manufacturing operations. For more information or to purchase your own, contact Daniels Manufacturing Company today. Closed captioning is brought to you by Profusion Drench for beef cattle, a no prescription, no needle supplement. To learn more, go to zenpro.com.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Jensen. And Jenny is the Director of Sustainability and Strategic Partnerships, correct?
Correct.
For Sustainable Environmental Consultants. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I have been fortunate enough to be involved on the periphery with your company for many years. And y'all are just doing some really, really cool things to help farmers and ranchers with that consumer today, aren't you?
We are, yeah. We have a very passionate team.
Yep. So talk to me a little bit about, what's your why, or why are farmers and ranchers wanting to have this sustainable environmental consultant type of audit or assessment done on their farms?
Absolutely, great question. So I will say that the term sustainability can be pretty scary to a farmer. They don't want to hear it, don't want to deal with it. We're being stewards of the land, right? Agriculture is the number one and first sustainable business that there is.
Yep.
And so it can be very intimidating, but I will say that we have an opportunity for agriculture. We need to share our story, and we need to share it in a way that consumers and others are going to understand.
Yep, and it's, we've talked about this and things, but it's kind of like moving to that next level of every time in agriculture that we're challenged, we find out we're doing an incredible job.
Absolutely.
And we just aren't keeping track. And that's something that you're able to do, is help the farmers and ranchers share with the consumer what a wonderful job we do every day.
Right. We have to have the proof points to what it is that we're doing. And it's not enough, and we don't have time in and day out for farmers to really say, what are we doing? Yep. We need to be able to share what that environmental impact is.
Yep. And then from that point, when that report comes back to the farmer, to the rancher, that's when it gets really fun, because it starts out with, we're going to tell what a great job we're doing, but then we come back and say, hey, we can do this a little bit better and it helps your bottom line on your farm or on your ranch or your dairy or hog operation.
Absolutely. Economics is number one. We have to be economically sustainable to be sustainable.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I always say to people, without profitability, there is no sustainability.
Absolutely.
So if we incur input costs, we need to have income generation or revenue, because this isn't just a hobby.
Right, right.
So when you, you've been in this business for quite a while, so talk to me a little bit about how that first interaction goes with farmers and ranchers.
We see all spectrums. We see some that are ready to hop on. They have all this information. They're like, we want to tell you about our animals. We want to tell you about our employees. We want to tell you what we do for the community. And then we have some that, we have to really talk about trust. We want to build the trust.
Yep.
We're not here to audit you. We're not here to gotcha. We're really here to work together and figure out how do we tell the sustainability story and look at realistic opportunities for sustainability.
I could see that, and I don't think it's any different with veterinary medicine or anything else. When we all have these insecurities and these apprehensions about change, and y'all are able to sit there and help people move forward and do the right things.
Right. We work collaboratively. What are those short-term, long-term goals that we can do to improve the efficiency of the operation?
Yep.
Improve the bottom line.
Well, we're going to take a break here. It's great to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
We're going to have Jensen and Doug McCorkle here from Sustainable Environmental Consultants. Thanks for joining us on DocTalk. We'll be right back after these messages.
Four generations before me did their job providing this opportunity to me and my siblings. If I do things right, I'm going to lay that opportunity out for my kids.
My entire family is a vital element of a job you have to get done.
But, it's just fun to be around the family and doing this.
And you'll do the right thing for the business. You will do the right thing for the cows because it's for a family.
Producers know stress costs money. It puts their cattle at greater risk of illness and can be a substantial drain on animal performance. That's why Zenpro developed ProFusion Drench for beef cattle. Formulated with Zenpro's patented trace mineral technology, ProFusion Drench is a no-script, no-needle performance supplement proven to rapidly replenish essential nutrients lost during times of stress. For optimal results, use ProFusion Drench with Zenpro Performance Minerals in feed as part of a complete nutrition program. To learn more, go to zenpro.com. ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. We have Jensen here. She's the Director of Sustainability and Strategic Partnerships for Sustainable Environmental Consultants out of Des Moines, Iowa, West Des Moines. It's just such an interesting opportunity for what you're providing for the farmers and the ranchers and the dairymen and hog operators and all that. But once we have gone through the assessment, or once we have that, we get to what we call the SCIP plan, right?
Right.
All right, so help me explain what a SCIP plan is.
Sure. A SCIP plan is short for Sustainable Continuous Improvement Plan. SCIP.
Yep.
It's kind of a mouthful. Really, the goal of the SCIP is to work collaboratively on what did we learn from this assessment, from the data points, the input, the output, where are we at now, talk about the great things that we're doing, really elevate the progress points, but then say, okay, we all have goals, we all want to improve. What are those?
So tell me, if you don't mind, if you have some examples of things that you work on to improve with people.
So we do short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals are things we can do in the next 2 to 3 years. Long-term goals might be expansions or buying equipment. Some short-term goals could be, evaluating our crop rotation, evaluating fields that might have more highly erodible soils that we want to work in a cover crop. That's going to make sense for that crop rotation.
So then, can they work in on the animal side? I mean, I'm assuming that there would be short-term and long-term goals too that would involve the animals on the place.
Absolutely, right. One thing that we talk about all the time is how do we bring the realistic aspect to the SCIP plan. For example, dairy. It's not going to be reasonable for every single dairy farm to have a methane biodigester. That's not reasonable. So how do we work on that SCIP plan and be able to show for the industry and for farms that we do have things that we can do? Short-term goals that we can work on. On the animal side, depending on the operation, what's sustainable for one farm is not going to be sustainable for the other necessarily, right? We're all different.
Yep.
So when we're looking at the animal agriculture side, it could be an energy audit. It could be lighting. It could be water. There's just various different things that we can look at. Manure is huge. Manure infrastructure as well.
Yeah. So I could see where the energy audit and the manure infrastructure, the that kind of that life cycle of rolling from the field through the animals back to the field.
Absolutely.
But then you're kind of tying it all together. You're bringing in to all the way back to the crops, and that just tells a tremendous story of American agriculture.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to be able to share that story. Manure is hard to talk about, but it is a resource, not a waste source, and it's part of that cycle.
Yeah. It's a huge resource, and it's a huge business, and I have learned it more and more moving back to Iowa with a pig building on every corner, and that it is big business and that. So kind of in a nutshell then, the SCIP plan helps take people, what we found, and now we're going to develop a strategic plan.
Correct. Absolutely. That strategic plan is going to be focused in on that operation, those fields, that farm. We might look at things such as a watershed. Maybe we're in a high priority watershed. We're getting pressure from the community. There's a watershed implementation plan or a state nutrient reduction strategy. We're going to show all the practices that farmer is doing in that watershed that's meeting or exceeding that to be able to support him and where he's located.
That's perfect. We sure appreciate all you do. Folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up with Sustainable Environmental Consultants. It's been a joy to have Jenny and Doug here on the show. We'll see you here after these messages.
If you're looking for advanced and innovative livestock handling products and facilities, Daniels Manufacturing Company is who you want to choose. They are a family-owned business that puts the needs of their customers first and have so since they opened in 1958. With low-stress cattle handling being of the utmost importance, they are focused on quality, not quantity. The company prides themselves on prioritizing the animal's well-being by staying on the cutting edge of design and only using the best materials and manufacturing operations. For more information or to purchase your own, contact Daniels Manufacturing Company today. Producers know stress costs money. It puts their cattle at greater risk of illness and can be a substantial drain on animal performance. That's why ZenPro developed ProFusion Drench for beef cattle. Formulated with ZenPro's patented trace mineral technology, ProFusion Drench is a no-script, no-needle performance supplement proven to rapidly replenish essential nutrients lost during times of stress. For optimal results, use ProFusion Drench with ZenPro Performance Minerals in feed as part of a complete nutrition program. To learn more, go to zenpro.com.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need. From prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson here with Doug McCorkle. And Doug serves as the Chief Science Officer for Sustainable Environmental Consultants out of West Des Moines, Iowa. And we're here at Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa, and we had a great introduction there from Jenny about the why and right. Why farmers and ranchers are doing this. First and then how it transforms. So I think it's one of those things about, well, how are you going to do this? And when you come on my place, what all are we going to do? So kind of talk about what one of these environmental assessments is involved.
Yeah, happy to. So we come on and we collect information about how you operate your farm and how you manage your facilities. So we'll collect everything from energy and water information about your facilities, the animals, kinds of animals you have on the infrastructure side. And then on the feed side is where things get very detailed and we collect per operational information. One of the things that makes SEC unique is that we collect every time an operation is made on the field. So when you make a tillage pass, whatever you plant, your chemical, your fertilizer, harvest, we collect that information with you. You might be thinking, that's going to take me an enormous amount of time. How am I ever going to be able to do that? One of the things we pride ourselves on is being able to meet you where you're at. If you use precision data, we'll work with you on that. If you have it in a notebook, flat file, we'll collect it there with you.
Awesome.
Yep.
And I'm sure you see all different levels.
Correct.
And I think that's something, I keep relating this back to veterinary medicine, but we have some cattle feeders that have animal health computers that tell you what every animal's doing all the time, to some people that are just intuitive and manage it with a flat file. I hadn't heard that. That's a new one for me. But I use a flat file. We also use a glove sometimes to record it. But so talk me through kind of like how you get started and because I think that'll be the most nerve-wracking part, right? Is just getting going and how much time and really what it's going to entail.
Getting started is the easy part, and we really do all the hard work for you and all the heavy lifting. We typically start out with a 30-minute to a 1-hour interview. We either do that in person or over the phone, depending on where you're at. And it's really about getting to know you and your operation and how you manage your operation. During that interview, we'll leave you with some information on the types of data that we'd like to collect. And then we'll work with you over the next few weeks to gather that information. The number one thing about that process is you personally do not have to enter that data into the computer. You can send that data to us, and then we'll sift through it and make sense out of it and structure it in a way that we can deliver that environmental performance assessment for you.
So tell me kind of the big buckets of data that they're...
Absolutely. So the big buckets are collecting information about the operational facilities.
Yep.
And then collecting the information about how you're managing your fields, your feed supply, how that's happening. So that can be, again, your planting, your tillage, your chemical passes, fertilizer passes, and harvest information.
And then on the flip side of that, you'll have the manure, collecting manure information and things to that as well, right?
Correct. I was sort of roping that into the fertilizer side.
Yeah.
But yep, we want your detailed information about your MMPs. That's a great source of information for helping us dial in what's going on your farm.
And then I know we're out of time here, got to go to break, but if I own the animal facility and I have people growing corn or silage for me, I don't have to own that. I just have to get them to be involved, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And then we'll be able to generate reports for your suppliers.
Perfect.
Builds great collaboration.
Sounds pretty easy, actually.
It is. We think it is.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, more with Sustainable Environmental Consultants.
If you're looking for advanced and innovative livestock handling products and facilities, Daniels Manufacturing Company is who you want to choose. They are a family-owned business that puts the needs of their customers first, and have so since they opened in 1958. With low-stress cattle handling being of the utmost importance, they are focused on quality, not quantity. The company prides themselves on prioritizing the animal's well-being by staying on the cutting edge of design and only using the best materials and manufacturing operations. For more information or to purchase your own, contact Daniels Manufacturing Company today.
generations before me did their job providing this opportunity to me and my siblings. If I do things right, I'm going to lay that opportunity out for my kids.
My entire family is a vital element of a job you have to get done.
You know, it's just fun to be around the family and doing this.
And you'll do the right thing for the business. You will do the right thing for the cows because it's for a family.
Producers know stress costs money. It puts their cattle at greater risk of illness and can be a substantial drain on animal performance. That's why Zenpro developed ProFusion Drench for beef cattle. Formulated with Zenpro's patented trace mineral technology, ProFusion Drench is a no-script, no-needle performance supplement proven to rapidly replenish essential nutrients lost during times of stress. For optimal results, use ProFusion Drench with Zenpro Performance Minerals in feed as part of a complete nutrition program. To learn more, go to zenpro.com. ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need. From prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson. We're here at Iowa State University with Doug McCorkle, who is the Chief Science Officer for Sustainable Environmental Consultants out of West Des Moines. And we've just had a great discussion with you and Jenny, and so we're going to wrap a bow on this thing and kind of talk about, you know, what's the end game with all of this after you get your assessment, your SCIP plan, and where do we head?
Yeah, absolutely. So we really pride ourselves on the report that we generate. There's a great amount of valuable information in there. It really helps understand what's going on with your operation. So we present a number of different outcome metrics. We'll present the higher level, farm level information about how your facilities and your animals are being managed, energy use, water use, things of that nature. And then we'll provide information that's very field specific. So information around erosion, how much you're saving compared to your county averages, information around water quality, nitrogen and phosphorus utilization, and also greenhouse gas and carbon sequestration, which are hot topics these days.
Yeah, I'd say. So I kind of see this as, this is something that you can share with whoever you want to share about your farm, about what a great job we're doing, that kind of social license to operate. Mm-hmm. I see it as something that's really helping us hone in and better manage our farms and improve our efficiencies and our costs. Mm-hmm. And then, as we go to this flip side, there may even be something down the road that you can help work with some of these groups, and when we start to talk about things like the carbon credits and different things of that nature, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to hit on one other point you mentioned about sharing.
Yep.
One of the places we see these reports being shared quite a bit is with their bankers. It's amazing what bankers think when they see a farm and an operation that's engaging in activities like this, that is generating information about what they're doing, how they're doing it, and it's coming from a third party. Yeah. Bankers find a lot of value in that, really reduces their risk exposure, and builds a lot of trust there.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So I know you're trying to push me off this carbon credit topic. It's a hot button issue, but this could be used to kind of streamline and push into some of those and help people present to these companies that are buying it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's that whole process about how we do what we do, the data collection. Same data that's used to generate the reports that we're generating is the same data that's used in these marketplaces and in these projects. So by us coming alongside you to help collect and structure this information, we can help you all engage these programs. The information that we also generate around greenhouse gas and soil organic carbon, that helps you judge the baseline of the operation, how your operation is performing. So it gives you some information to go into these conversations around these agreements. So when you're talking with the folks about what you're going to pay me, how you're going to pay me, well, you have some information to help you along the way and to help guide that conversation.
It just amazes me, and it makes a whole lot of sense, but what it really boils down to, folks, is that when we talk about carbon credits and payment for carbon credits, there are groups out there and large corporations and things that are thinking that they would like to help with the corporate responsibility to slow down potential climate change. Therefore, they would bring some revenue to kick to agriculture for changes that we might make. And so there's a lot of big money,
Correct.
A lot of ideals, a lot of things that still aren't worked out, but this is a group that's right in the thick of things and going to help us sort it out.
Yeah, we're very interested in being able to assist in these processes and being able to, again, like Jenny said, tell the story. I mean, you guys are doing great work. You're making great progress and engaging sustainable practices.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Folks, great show today with Doug McCorkle and Jenny Jensen from Sustainable Environmental Consultants. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian, and if you want to know what we do on DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson with Jenny Jensen and Doug McCorkle. We're here at Iowa State University, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Profusion Drench for beef cattle, a no prescription, no needle supplement. To learn more, go to zenpro.com. DocTalk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.